Oh, you caught me. Hey, everybody, it's Charlie. It is Tuesday. God, I don't even know what day it is. I got new glasses. Yes, the 18th of October, 2022. Oh, good Lord, y'all. This week has been a rough week. No sleep. I don't even understand how people do this all the time. What's wrong with us? Oh, Lord. But we're here. Jeff's not. Jeff is stuck at a receiver somewhere in the world in Charlotte, hour away from a truck stop, proper space and all that kind of thing. And what's up, Matt Nissen? In the Dales here in Oregon. Ew. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, hi. Hi, Lisa. Oh, Lord. Oh, let's see who's here. James Bond, yo, flying solo there could be fun to watch. Look, it could be a train wreck, It could be mellow, could be a short show. I'm not gonna lie, I just got up a couple hours ago. We didn't get home till good Lord, just after 7 this morning, and it was you get those nightmare loads that just never end and just things keep going wrong. I had 2 days of that. 2 loads back to back. Oh my gosh. It was not amusing at all. Matt said it's definitely been a tough week out on the West Coast. What's up, Craig? Oh, look. Trucker Dan. What's up, buddy? Dennis Lewis, what's going on? Matt still managed. Oh, good. Man, you did good. You still managed to pull in 3,000 miles. Hell, that's a good week. Oh, Matt, dude. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to get into it yet. I still honestly haven't even thought about it. It was just such a drag, dude. Oh, my God. So pretty much everywhere is ridiculous right now. I mean, really. JC Holland said West Coast ridiculous this week. Mike Henderson, what's up, buddy? Glad to see y'all here. Glad you tuned in. Sorry, it's just me and my squirrel mind. Yeah. Didn't have time to really put a ton of thought in today's show, not gonna lie. It just is what it is. Oh Lord. So there's a thing going on this week for me. I'm not going back to Target. And I probably picked like the absolute worst time ever to do this. I'm just kind of I need a change. No doubt, Matt. Teddy bear hug, make it all better. That's right, sir. Hey, CW. I'm not early. I was on time, man. On time, sir. I'm usually only about a minute. I'm within a minute when I started. I don't know. Whatever. Y'all picking on me. I dig it. If you didn't pick on me, I think something was wrong. So there you go. About to leave home from Houston to Florida. First week of its fifth. Stay safe, y'all. Look at that. First week. That's exciting and nervous and scary all at the same time, right? Good luck to you, man, and definitely reach out to the group if you need any assistance or help, guidance, things like that. You know. Yeah, Mike, so yeah, I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm glad it's working out for you right now. You got some personal headbutting issues with some folks. Yeah. Anyhow, but you know who I do like over at the Target a lot. So we're always talking about building relationships and things like that, and I can't help but talk to people. Those guys out at the 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 main, I guess it's called the traffic building now. I love those guys. Natasha, I don't know if Natasha's back yet, but she's awesome. People look at her like she's mean and crazy. And, if you just talk to her, she's awesome. She's just real. And the rest of those guys, oh my God, those dudes in that office are just amazing. Seriously. Yeah. I'm just over the DC itself, the loaders. Oh my god, the crap that they keep putting in trailers is ridiculous. And then I'm fighting one individual who just, I don't know, whatever. Not gonna get into that. That's stupid. Hey, you know what we could get into? Hey, let's do this. Let's do the fuel surcharge because that's always a happy thing for me. Almost always. It's a happy thing this week, so why don't we do that? So this week, the national average did go up 0.115 to 5.339. West Coast Pad 5 went up 0.025 to 5.997. It's about to crack 6 again. Brings our fuel surcharge to 0.691. That's a jump up 2 cents. West Coast fuel surcharge dropped 1 cent, 11 last week, 10 to this week. That's because the gap between the West Coast and the national shrunk down to 0.65. Yeah, it was actually a big shrink. It was weird because last week was what? I think last week was just short of 75-cent difference. Anyhow, but there you go. I mean, that's the fuel surcharge. I could probably put that on the bottom of the screen so that anyone who tunes in a little bit can get that. We click on that button. Look, there it is. Bam. There's the fuel surcharge scrolling. So yeah. So that's good news. Fuel surcharge went up. Hopefully you guys are really planning out and shopping for fuel and beating that average. Good God, I know I beat that average this week. It's 533. Man, I think the highest I spent this week was $4.99. I am using the Con Data card, so yeah, I'm playing some other games right now. I don't have uh my ES card funded right now. You know, choices. What are you gonna do? Anyhow, let's get back to this other thing. Let me switch out of the screen and we'll chat. See where you guys want to take this thing today and see what happens. It's always fun when we come in here completely no set topic. So yeah, let's do that. So yeah, what are y'all doing? How'd you do this week? Freight market in the toilet big time, James Vaughn said. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Yeah, the freight market is in the toilet big time. It really actually is. So I was looking at let me switch screens here. I was looking at the DAT trend lines and the spot load posts for October 10th through October 16th versus the spot load posts October 3rd to October 9th. That's the amount of loads being posted on the board is actually down 10%. While the amount of trucks posting and making themselves available is up 4.5%. So that's driving prices down. More trucks, less loads. Yep. It's a race to the bottom. The van loads to truck is actually down. So the amount of loads to the trucks available is down 13.3%. And yeah, it's just pretty insane right now. Van spot rates overall are down 0.3%, which brings the current average down to 244 a mile on the van rates. Flatbeds are down to 288 and reefers down to 281. So there you go. It's kind of crazy out there. It really is. So here's an interesting comparison. I don't know if you guys are care or not, but I'm going to throw it out there anyhow. So from September of 21 versus September of 22, there are 48% less loads available, but there's 16% more trucks. That explains why those rates are just dropping. And everyone seems to think that these rates are nowhere near rock bottom yet. A lot of smart people that I follow seem to think that we're actually going to be looking at drops all the way through the fourth quarter. So I don't know. And a lot of people say, well, we don't pull spot market. Well, Swift does actually pull some of the spot market. At one point, we were pretty invested in the spot market when it was booming. I'm assuming now that the reason we're seeing our load count drop is we're not pulling a ton of spot market freight, and we're relying more on contract rate. And that contract rate is kind of trippy. So, take loads when you can get them. I don't have any better advice than that right at the moment. This is gonna be a brutal cycle, I think. And Jeff and I have been saying for quite some time that you should be preparing for this cycle. When it was booming and it was awesome and everybody was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get my own authority. I'm gonna get out of here and do this and screw this contract per mile stuff. Yeah. Just gonna say we've been saying it all along. At some point it's going to flip over the other way, and it is doing it in a major way. Yeah. So Matt said, he heard the same thing. Going to be rough for a while, possibly until second quarter next year, possibly. What I'm reading right now is, could be first quarter before we see a weird turn, and which normally wouldn't be a turn to the positive for us. Usually that first quarter dips out right after the holidays. So I don't know. First, second quarter could be a thing. We're gonna have to see what these rates do and what this mark. Look, here's the reality of it. There needs to be an awful lot of people went out and got their own authority when the market was, at its peak. And these guys are out there and these, paid ridiculous, $150,000 for trailers that were not valued at that truly. That was just the market doing that and paying ridiculous high prices on used trucks. Excuse me. And then the rates started dropping. These guys thought, well, hell, I could pay these truck rates. It'll be fine. And the rates started dropping, and now they're starting to fall off. As they fall off, that will fix that market a little bit, but we're not seeing, at least I'm not seeing the rapid decline in those folks with their authority capping out yet. I think there's still a big rush coming. You know what I mean? So yeah. Cal, let's see. Sorry, I'm catching back up here. Cal in the morning, finally. Service needs done. Hard time getting scheduled, and also planners don't read messages. Missed appointment last week. Uh-oh. That sucks. Yeah, Ken Kelly is definitely over capacity right now. It's a weird deal, man. You've seen it before. You've been here long enough to see this kind of stuff, and it's really what we've been trying to let people know about and to prepare for. So, if you can make it through these downtimes, when it goes up, man, you just thrive. Trucker Dan said he did about 2,400 miles last week and finally got a settlement in the positive. Man, when you're coming out of that deep hole, Dan, you just got to keep plucking away at it, man. And as they say, keep the axe to the grindstone, right? Eventually it's going to sharpen and start chopping trees, yo. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Whatever. Oh, yeah, Ken, true story. Where to go? Charlie, the industry is in trouble when FedEx downgrades profits and volume, right? So, they're usually about to explode right now, and yeah, they're looking at. Whew. Purple Yeti, that's actually an easy thing for me to address. Maybe talk about strategies allowed you to get through 08, 09. So during that last true bloodbath, which Jeff and I were talking about this today, and we're not quite sure that that's going to be the standard. I think that what we're in now just may turn into be the new bloodbath standard. We'll have to wait and see what happens with it anyhow. So basically what the people who made it through that did, number one, it sounds silly, keep those PTAs, as accurate as you can. Communicate. Keep people aware of what you're doing, what you need, where you need to go. Be a little more open to the lanes that you run and reduce your bottom line or excuse me, your overhead. How do you do that? Well, the simplest way is to slow down. I know a lot of you guys are tired of hearing it, but it's just facts. Increase your fuel mileage. You can get it up a mile per gallon. That's going to see a tremendous help to your bottom line. So you don't need to run 3,000, 4,000 miles a week. Maybe you only need to do 2,000 miles a week. So, I mean, it really is just kind of something you need to, yeah. Reducing your overhead is going to be the key to all this, and communicating, building those relationships, you guys. Talking to the planners that are getting you loads, save those codes, reach out to them ahead of time, let them know, hey, I'm going to be in your area in 2 days. And, looking for freight. I'm hungry, willing to work. Maybe do a local here. Maybe do a local to get you something else out of there. Sorry, I'm going back to the messages, trying to catch back up. Seeing the load map, it shows no loads anywhere on the lower West Coast. Yeah, it's gnarly. I've been in Phoenix since Monday morning. Alan says Phoenix has loads. I don't know. Exactly. Jeff Morton, everybody in the chat. Slow down, get off of con data, right? Jeff, Alan said take a nap. I don't know why. He's just saying take a nap. Sounds good. Let's all just take a nap. No, that would be bad right now. Let's see. Yeah. He's waiting on a dock for a drop delivery in a tiny yard. He's not real happy right now. He was a little when I was on the phone with him a little while ago. I don't know. Alan needs a Snickers, Betty White. What? There's like weird things going on in the chat, you guys. Matt, yes. Build relationships. Alan Becker, I want tacos. Right? Ken Kelly. Be dependable and reliable, and if you tell them you're going to do it, do it. Absolutely. Kind of like your logs, yo. Log it as you do it. Do it as you log it. If you tell a planner I'm going to be there at 8, be there at 7:45. It's kind of my deal. That's left over from the Army. If you ain't early, you're late, yo. Rawr. So, Matt said, I got with planners and DL and got planned all the way to Friday. So, man, that's what you got to do. Oh, you guys in the chat are killing me. Jeff said, I just had a Nutter Butter. And he's feeling pretty. Jeff feels pretty. Oh, so pretty. Jeff feels pretty and witty and bright. Stop it. Oh, my God. What is happening here? Alan said he had a load, but an expediter planner took it and had them T-call it in Phoenix. I was going to Jersey. I'm like, but I'm a team. They were like, sorry. That doesn't make sense. I don't even understand that. Maybe there was a scheduling issue on the other end or something. I don't know. Oh, that's actually interesting. Been dealing with Jerry White for 2 days face to face. Can't find me anything. Say, JC, so are you trying to get to a specific place, or are you just like, man, I'll go anywhere? Honestly, I'm just curious. Mike Henderson said in 0809, I did a lot of local to help. That kept me moving. Let your spouse, significant other know you're not to expect you home till you make money. That's actually kind of like a thing. That's like legit right there. If you can get a bunch of local work, I mean, sometimes these guys are really hurting in the local markets, and they'll kick back a bit of money. And then when it comes time for them to figure out, well, which of these 100 trucks sitting here am I going to give this 2 loads to? You pop up in their mind first because you were the guy helping them out. Just saying. JT said he's trying to get anything east, anywhere east. So, yeah, I think I would just change that to just anywhere at this point. Randy Allman said, wife and I are new to Swift OO, trying to figure it out so we can talk to planners and not the tour guide. We had homemade chicken chili. Hey, that sounds really good. I got spaghetti sitting on my desk. Rosie brought me dinner like 5 minutes before the show started. So I'm just staring at my spaghetti getting cold. But it's all good. I'm here with you guys. I'll get through it. Yes, you can actually talk to planners, Randy. When they send you a load, at the bottom of that load, you should see their name and their weird little direct message code, like, random letters. It'll be some of their last name, first name, and a number or something like that. Or last name, first name. Yeah, combination of those letters. Save those codes. Send those people a direct message using macro 13. That's direct message. You put in that code and you can send them a direct message straight to them. So start building that list and figure out what their planning area is so that when you're headed that direction, you can reach out and say, hey, I'm coming to your area. I was wondering if you had anything. Alan's funny. And for real, I'll go anywhere with any trailer. There's a loaded flatbed here with Pro Masters. I'll take that. No doubt. Jeff went to Oregon a month ago. Just saying. Like, right? Dennis said, that's why he has a microwave. I don't like microwaves, man. I don't know why. I got a weird thing about microwaves. I just hate using them. I don't know. What do you want from me? So, yeah. So, getting back to this stuff, seriously, if I should check the phones, I apologize if there's anyone there. There's not, so that's cool. Rates are in the tank and dropping. Volume is down. I haven't spoke to anyone in the corporate side in the last few weeks, so I don't know what's going on there. Going through the chat. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. Well, Purple Yeti. So why not just drive east? Burnt diesel is cheaper than lost revenue. Yes and no. Sometimes times like this, you really got to look at, okay, if I drive east on my dime, what am I going to get? Is there something there for me to actually get to? And you're not going to know that unless you're communicating and building those relationships. So be careful with that. When freight is booming and there's tons of freight all over the place, and you're in one of those weird markets, man, maybe you can just drop it and go 600 miles into a new market and know that you're just going to get planned. You're going to get loads. It doesn't even matter. Right now, with the markets being what they are and the load volumes being low, it's it's more of a gamble that way. Blackbeard said he's been pretty steady on ERF. Haven't had to sit around and wait. Oh, Jeff finally got a door. Said peace out. Look how quick he bails on us. He's like, bye. Yeah, and Jerry will let you know, man. I mean, if it's worth actually making that kind of a jump. Jerry's pretty straight up when it comes to that stuff. So, I mean, definitely talking to him is going to get you some good information. I know CW told me to get a gallons. So I've got this cool air fryer thingamabobber that Rosie used in the truck that's pretty awesome. I like that thing. So I don't know. If you guys got any questions, I'll throw them up. We'll get to those. If not, this is not going to be a long show. I'm telling you, I'm tired. Yeah, JC, that very well could happen. We'll see. Uh, I haven't burnt the bridge. I am unable to hold my tongue around certain people. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, Chris, that's what we're seeing from all the industry people too. Chris said, my OC told me the other day the trucking industry is expecting an even slower rest of the fourth quarter. And that very well could be true. I'm pretty sure that's actually going to happen looking at what volumes, projections, and all that are. Oh, Yeti, it works, bro. For real. Like it's legit. Sorry. He said he wanted to see me turn my neck with no pain. How awesome is that? Like for real. Whoop, whoop. Doesn't hurt. There's nothing. Since the day of surgery. It's crazy. Yeah. Isn't that the truth? That and the head injury back in the day. Just saying. Uh yeah. Just yeah. Look, I gotta not get into this on here because that's bad. Be airing some crap. And I don't want to do that. I try never to do that. Alan, there you go, buddy. On the other hand, we do have Vegas. Vegas is coming. Vegas is coming in April. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm actually still really looking forward to that. I really needed to hurry up and get here. I need a change. I need a vacation or from something. Sue, I don't know where you're at, but hey, I don't even know if she's here yet or she's listening. Maybe she's ignoring us right now. I don't know. Yep. I think we're gonna have a pretty good turnout too. So I'm hoping. We are still in the works of trying to get everything set up. Yeah. Mike, that's a good point. If you're in an area where you're having trouble getting freight, ask around the dedicated accounts in that area, like over here in this neck of the woods. Target, look, I can tell you, Target in Lake City almost always needs help. However, they do need teams over solos. They've got, I think they still have more solos than they really need. So yeah, I mean, by all means, reach out, make yourself available. Reach out through these relationships that you are working on and you're building, and let people know, hey man, I just want to work. I just want to get stuff going. You know what I mean? Yeah. Jeff said he woke up to snow, and I was like, what? That's crazy up there in PA and weirdness. And I'm like, man, that is baffling. I don't even want to do it. Alan said he's thinking about deadheading over to Phoenix and hopping on Costco to help for a week. That's actually a pretty good turn there too for a team because you can crank out loads like back to back if you get them lined up right. Yeah, Alan, I don't want to talk about snow. You quiet your face. I don't want to hear it. I don't even understand the word SNOW. What is that? Stop it. Good God, it's too early for this stuff. This cigar won't stay lit. I'm having issues with this one. I don't know why. It's gonna upset me. It's gonna get tossed just like it is unsmoked. So yeah. Let's see. Like I said, if you guys have anything, please throw it up. We will dive into it. It's cool to see some new people here, new faces that are actually participating. Untamed squirrel. I'm gonna argue with you. Wait, I'll agree. Snow is a beautiful thing on TV from an airplane. It's actually kind of pretty while skydiving. Not gonna lie, that was actually a fun thing. Um, yeah, in a movie, that's cool. I don't want to be in it. Confined cooking, what's going on, man? Yeah, not a great week for some of us, great for others, so that's all good. Good to see you, Rick. Yeah. No, see, so Yeti, you know what's funny about that? Uh, I still don't typically go above I-40 even when I'm not doing Target or whatever. It I mean, if I have to, I will. When the numbers say that I need to, then I need to, but I typically don't, man. So, yeah, what do you guys got for me? I need some direction today. Lisa said, "Welcome to the ERF family now." I'm just saying. Exactly, Mike. Snow is a four-letter word. Exactly. Blackbeard's got a good point here. He's seeing 30 people and only 4 thumbs up. If you guys could actually just take a second, hit that little magic button, you guys. It seems like a silly thing, and I know we ask for it every week, but it actually does help us grow the channel and reach more people. Without the thumbs up affirmations from people, YouTube thinks, oh, nobody cares about these guys, so we're not going to tell anyone else about them. And yeah, so by all means, if you are not subscribed, please do that. Hit the little bell so you know when we go live and when we put out other videos, things like that. Blackbeard is on it today, man. I dig it, brother. I appreciate that. That was good looking out. And let me click off that button. Anyhow, I got that out of the way. I appreciate that, Blackbeard. That's good looking out, buddy. Because Lord knows I am off my game. Yeah, I think I slept before I got home about a total of 8 hours over the last 3 days. It has not been pleasant. Let me tell you how I started this past week. I went to work on Thursday, like I was supposed to, and while driving to work, Rosie and I got about halfway there. She was in the bed, asleep in the bunk. I can't talk. And I was driving northbound on a road called 121 between Williston, Florida, and Gainesville. And there was a car coming up, headed southbound. And all of a sudden, I hear his horn. And I look over and I look where he's looking, and there's a little side street coming off the side of the road, coming out into our highway. And there's a older lady there, not super old, but maybe my age, uh, in a light colored vehicle. Saw her so fast I couldn't even tell you what kind of car it was. But this lady had pulled out, didn't stop at the stop bar, and came out like she was gonna cut right out in front of this dude right behind me. And so he turned to the right, dipped behind her, tried to slow down, and this dude flew off into a swamp. I was like, and I watched this in the mirror. All I saw was dust, and I'm thinking, he didn't make that turn, yo. And what I did was I went down. It took me about 3/4 of a mile or a mile to get down there, turn around, went back, pulled up, stopped at that intersection, and lo and behold, all I see is brake lights poking out of the swamp about 30 feet in. And I saw all these people that had seen what happened. The lady that I believe caused this accident by not stopping where she should and freaking him out, saw what happened because he went right behind her and shot through the air into the swamp, and that lady left. Nobody stopped for this guy. By the time I got back there, I thought, oh, hell, he's not out of the car. This is going to be bad, man. Because, I mean, there's like all kinds of crazy stuff there. So I went in a swamp, and that sucked. But I figured, man, let's go help the dude out. Didn't know who it was, and windows were all blacked out. Couldn't see inside the car. I was just about to break the passenger window open because it was locked and I couldn't get in, and I couldn't see anybody in there. And I thought, man, his hood's underwater. The water is, yeah, car's still running. And he's like, rolls down the window. Hey, man, I'm good. I'm good. I just smacked my head, and we ended up hanging out there till about 10:30, 11 that night. And I decided I'm not going to start my work week after having dealt with all that mess. So we went home. Friday, we go back to work, and our load is late. Like 2 hours late. Like, we didn't leave the DC till 3. I don't go to bed till we leave the DC because I want to make sure everything's good and all that kind of stuff, right? And then the next night, I go to hook up to our trailer. The trailer's turned off. Go find out. It's only been it had only been not running for 48 minutes, and according to Target, if it's been less than an hour, it's still good to go. So just turn it on and go about your day. So I do that, and I turn the reefer on, hook up to it, and the air tank is hanging off the reefer, off the trailer, just dangling by one support, just bouncing, boing, boing, boing. You touch it, and it would do this, right? So I go let Target know. They're like, all right, we got to transload that. Sorry, we only have one empty trailer on the yard, which you can have. We just have nobody to load that trailer for you. That load was ready at 8 p.m. We didn't leave there till 3 a.m. So I thought I was going to go to bed early that night. It did not happen because they're like, yeah, we're going to try and get it done. So hang out, stay close, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And yeah, 3 a.m. we finally got out of there. Then the next night we got back, hooked up to our load again. It's blowing air. It's leaking air. Got a bad air leak. Got to get that one transloaded. 7 a.m. before they got that one transloaded. And finally we get out of there. And by that time, I'm like, screw it. It's my time to drive anyhow. It's morning time. Let's do this. So I take off, get 3.5 hours into the trip, and blow a tire. On the trailer, not my truck. That would look. I'd be much more upset if it had been my truck, because that would have been something. Anyhow, so get this. So I was in this transition from I-475 to I-75 headed north towards Atlanta. So when those two come together, even if you're in the right lane on the 475 transition into 75, it basically puts you in the middle of the highway on 75, and you got people zipping past you both sides, right? Because I'm doing 60. And they're like, shoo, 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 shoo. And it was right where both those came together, that tire just came apart everywhere. Shot tire chunks, gator bits every direction, right? And so I put the four ways on, and I start trying to move my way over to the shoulder, and I'm down to about 50 miles an hour. I finally get over the shoulder, still at 50, mind you, because I finally found a break, and I dipped over there. And as soon as I got on the shoulder, some lady who apparently caught a small tire bit, who was upset with me, dipped from the fast lane to the shoulder, couldn't have been maybe 100 feet ahead of me, and just locked up the brakes on the shoulder. I hit the shoulder at 50, and I'm thinking, this is going to be ugly. So I'm like hard braking, trying to get stopped, right? Keep it under control. Got a guardrail there. I'm like, don't want to smack that. That would suck, right? And I couldn't dip back out on the highway because, there's cars doing 1,000,000 miles an hour. So I stop right behind her. She gets out of the car all huffy, looks at her driver door, sees nothing, climbs back in, and drives away. And I'm thinking, oh man, all these grocery pallets are going to be a mess, right? So anyhow, I limp up to the next exit there. Yeah, sat there for a few hours waiting on a tire repair. Finally got out of there, got up into Atlanta to start my first store at like 4:30 in the afternoon. Should have been like 7:30 in the morning. And it did not get better from there. Like pallets were everywhere. People were, oddly enough, the first two stores were actually very cool about the pallets. Told them what happened. They're like, man, that sucks. They were just glad that they got their freight, and most of it was intact. Let's just say there's an awful lot of berries this week at two stores that aren't there. So yeah. And then I had to, because of relationship building, I was able to contact the third store, which was telling the DC that they didn't want to unload me that night because I was going to be there so late. I didn't get there till about 8:15 in the evening. I called and talked to the manager there. Said, "Hey, it's Charlie, your FTC dude." And he's like, "All right, man, I'll get you unloaded. I got two guys that have never done before, so you're gonna have to help them out." I'm like, "I will guide the best I can. We will get it done." So then I had a craft backhaul, and that's always fun. But luckily enough, that actually went pretty smooth. So anyhow, whew, lots of no sleeping this week. So I'm a little off, and yeah, for real. Another manic week of Mondays, for real. It's like it never stopped. It was like one Monday after another, and it just didn't stop. Let's see. Sorry, I was going back through this stuff. JC said, "Hey Charlie, can I DM you after or you later? I have a question that I need clarification on." Absolutely, man. By all means, if you got me on the Facebooks, Charlie Mahon, Mahon. If you're in the group, hit me up there, whatever. Yeah, definitely PM me if you got access to me. For sure. I like answering questions. It's fun. Yeah, he like totally did, Matt. Went total Dukes of Hazzard. And you know what was crazy is like nobody ever stopped for this dude. It was just me and Rosie and this dude in a swamp. And I'm like, this sucks, man. And had I not stopped, I'm telling you, if this guy was seriously hurt, he'd have died in that car and nobody ever would have stopped. It was just baffling to me because like nobody stopped for the one person that did stop and they actually called the police and stuff. Uh, Only stopped after they honked at me for running in front of them coming off that side road and jumping in the swamp. That's who finally stopped. And then they're like, "Hey, we called the cops. Bye. Hope everything's good." And left. Hadn't even got the guy talking to the guy yet. It was crazy. Anyhow, look, be careful out there. Nobody's looking after each other, you guys. Seriously, it's crazy. Let's see what else. What'd you say there, Mike? Just had to pay $730 for a drive tire. I felt like, yeah, for real, dude. Oh, I hate that. Hey, I will type it in the chat here. You can find me right there. It's got my groovy little picture. It's usually a picture of me and Rosie on there. And yeah, I use my real name on Facebook. So, reach out by all means. If you can find me now and throw me a friend request, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do that, man. And I will definitely get back to you guys. I am doing some birthday stuff with my grandson and kids tomorrow. But I will definitely get back to you as quick as I can. But if you guys got anything, throw it up there. Oh, let me see, Rick. Let me scroll back, buddy. I might have missed it. I apologize. Oh, sorry. What's going on with freight? Took a 34 over the weekend and got extended another day for lack of freight. Any idea? Yeah, so we actually talked about that. We were looking at the spot rates and the spot market itself, and the amount of freight volume out there is super low right now and dropping. And more trucks are available for the spot market. And I know that we pull contracted freight, but that still does affect us. You got to understand that when Swift doesn't pull just contract rate or freight, excuse me. Some of that extra capacity that we had when it was booming was from the spot market. There was a percentage amount that Swift was pulling from strictly spot market. So when that dried up and is going away, well, that's we are over capacity on trucks and under capacity on loads, and that's just going to happen. That's just part of how it is. Which is what we were talking about, for months and months and months before, when we're telling, enjoy it while it lasts, make everything you can, start putting money away. And, because it's going to crash. And lo and behold, it did. And it is. So, not to say I told you so, but we told you so. But I mean that in the nicest way possible. Joshua, Hey everyone, just started my lease op with Swift, and I'm already broke down in Lancaster, Texas. Super fun. Hey, welcome to trucking, and welcome to that business ownership stuff. It happens, man. It sucks. You will get through this, I promise. Hopefully, maybe you're even lucky enough that you're still in your first 30 days, so they'll cover that. That would be awesome. Anthony McHugh, winter driving tips for a newbie. Yeah, if you have to chain, find a place to park. Look at the weather. Drive slow. Pack things in your truck in case you are stranded somewhere. Water, food, easy things to keep. Canned goods. Raviolis are my go-to. I ain't gonna lie. Chef Boyardee. That's my people. Oh Lord. Yeah. Don't be heavy on your pedals. On any of your pedals. Seriously. Brakes and throttle, man. Use them like there's an egg sitting underneath there, so you are not going crazy. Josh said pretty much the same thing. Take it slow, especially turning. Snow isn't scary. Ice is. Like, for real. Like, I mean, you get used to it, but still, if you don't have to drive in it, don't drive in it. Communicate. Let people know. Macro 22 is your friend in those situations. Let them know, hey, the roads are sketchy. I'm going to be here until this point in time, and I will update you as soon as I can. Cool, Josh. Day 6. I would expect that I'll be covered, man. What are your thoughts on ECO? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. If you could give me more than ECO, maybe I could dip into that. Matt, guys, I picked up my truck in Lancaster on Thursday and had 2 issues fixed right off the bat. Just have to take it with a grain of salt, man. Yeah. It is. CW, that's a good point. 511 and state websites for the road conditions. They a lot of those states really update those things, so keep up on them. Find those. There's a 511 app out there too. Some of the states have their own 511 apps. Yeah, Ken Kelly, I'm with you, man. I kept telling people to save, throw money in the maintenance account. I learned the hard way. Yeah, I think most of us that have been around a while can have done the same thing, and some of these folks here are going to learn the hard way as well. We're trying to help you not have to learn the hard way, folks. So don't take it that way. We just, throw change. See you in the spring. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, I don't, if it's, it used to be you had to chain up and that was just the way it was. Swift doesn't like people chaining up. So they, if you're having a chain, they're pretty much thinking you need to use it just long enough to get you somewhere safe, which is cool. I'm down with that. Let's see. Oh, right there, TK. 813-548-3722. I haven't even looked at the phone. Oh, my bad. Let's throw him up there. Hey, man. Sorry, dude. I wasn't looking at the call screen.
Bad.
Look,
hell, man.
It says only 1 minute. Look, that wasn't that long. Some of these poor guys have been stuck there for 15 minutes.
You know how long 1 minute is when you're doing a drop and hook into a dock?
You know what?
All that.
I think you're going to be all right, Jeff.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be all right.
So, what's shaking, man?
Oh,
I heard you complaining about your week.
No, I wasn't complaining. I was just explaining how the week went. You know what I mean? Oh, hang on. Sue said, small sledgehammer to free brakes when they are frozen. Yeah, like a little tap, 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 tap. Maybe not setting your trailer brakes. There's that. If you park on the snow and the ice right after driving all day, we're throwing up winter tips for newbies. If you park on the snow and ice at the end of your day, set your brakes, sit there for a couple minutes, and then move your truck another 6 or 8 inches, one way or the other. When you first set, your tires are going to be warm, and they'll create this crazy little, almost just a crazy slick spot with the ice, right? And then you're stuck there. And it's funny because I've actually been stuck on like an 8-inch patch of ice one day, and that was terrible.
That's happened to me.
Yeah, it's not fun. Hey, Sue, glad you made it. Oh, EGR. Oh, wait, hang on. I got to go back to this other question, Jeff. ECM he was talking about. Where'd it go? Flash codes. Gotcha. Flash code is showing EGR sensor. I unplugged and unplugged back in to no avail, and all my tools are at home. Yeah, that sucks.
EGR sensor, you said?
Yeah. I honestly don't have a good fix for you here.
Is that by any chance one of those red engines?
Is that a red engine, Josh?
Yeah.
Mike Henderson said, best winter tip I can give is plan your trips in winter and know the weather 3 to 5 days out. You not only have to get in, you have to get out. Also, everything north and east of Denver doesn't exist. I like it, Mike. I like it.
Okay.
So, Jeff, you got rid of your load finally, or what?
Yeah. Now I'm going down this road that my Ram McNally is telling me is truck restricted, but there's nothing but trailers lining the entire road. So
There you go.
That.
Josh said he's he's got to come
anywhere around a. Yep. I'm just saying, I have an opinion on that, but always keep in mind that I'm not a mechanic like Alan, who shares my opinion. But anyway.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, Josh, I think you're just going to have to dip into a shop, buddy.
Yeah, the EGR is one of the things that went bad on my 07. Right at it was literally like 50 miles past warranty too.
Yeah, of course it was. That's usually how it goes.
But I got into a Peterbilt in St. Louis, and that dude went to the bat for me, and he was like actually yelling at the Kenworth guys in the offices, wherever those offices are. This guy spent this much money on this truck, and it's only 50 miles past warranty. What do you mean you're not going to warranty this thing? Come on, man.
Right.
And he ended up getting it warranted anyway. And the sad thing is that shop is now out of business, which I'm trying to wrap my mind around to this day because the customer service was so great when I was there. Guess it doesn't pay to be the nice guy. Is that what that is?
Right. Yeah, Josh said that's what he's waiting on now. He's getting the just one more hour every hour on the hour spiel right now. That sucks. Are you at a Swift shop or an outside shop, or where are you at, Josh? Hey, that's actually a good point, CW. Sometimes it does pay to run out of route a few miles to avoid a snowstorm. So, yeah, find alternate routes that make sense.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I know where you're going. Go for it.
Sometimes if the storm's bad enough, Swift will pay you for that.
Exactly. Speak to your DL and all that stuff. Yeah, Josh said he's at the Lancaster
terminal. The first time I did that, it was the Grapevine was closed of all places because of snow.
Right.
If you guys don't know, it does snow up there, and it snows really bad sometimes. So they had it closed. And this is back in the days of the Ram McNally Road Atlas, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I got out my trusty Road Atlas and figured out a way around it. And I called my driver leader, Dana, and I said, hey, that's interesting.
Squirrel.
There's this alternate route that I can go, but it's an extra 140 miles. She was like, yeah, we'll do that. No problem.
Got the load there safe.
Yeah. What the freak, dude?
Untamed squirrel. So
there's no gate on these railroad tracks, and I'm afraid that I'm not far back enough. The guy's going really slow though, so we're good. Anyway, so yeah, they ended up paying me, and here was the crazy, Charlie.
Uh-huh.
I went inside all excited. That was my first winter. I had only been driving for like 4 months, and I was all sorts of excited, I went inside, all these guys watching the TV. I said, "Hey, you guys, if you're going down to LA, they'll pay you that 100 and some odd miles to go over to Barstow and down."
Right.
And the reaction I got for that, well, I ain't freaking doing that.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
And I'm like, dude, it's another 150 loaded miles, man. Why wouldn't you? But that's the reaction I got. That was my first taste of what I call terminal rats.
Right.
Those guys that sit around the terminals, and they're just really negative people. For the longest time, I wouldn't hang out at terminals at all because of that.
Right.
But it's gotten better, I think. But there's still sometimes, you get talking to some of these people, you're like, why did I start this conversation?
Right. I know. Yeah, some of the negative Nancy's will get to you, and then they just start eating away at your soul, man.
Yep.
I try to just turn and walk away at that point.
It was when my friend Jared, he's my most successful failure in my entire career. He was an owner operator, had 2 trucks, and that last truck he had, he had just had so many problems with it. He went back company.
Right.
But he made the right decisions for him. That's why I say it's my most successful failure.
Right.
Because man, we did math for weeks before he made that decision. But so we were in Salt Lake, and this is back, and he was a good driver, so we were actually teaming. And there are these dudes out there in the smoking area in Salt Lake, the old Salt Lake terminal.
Right.
Saying that they'd been sitting there for 3 days and didn't have a load. Well, being a mentor team, of course, I already had a load going in there. I wasn't going to piss anybody off by saying that.
Right.
But, we go to Chicago and back, and those same 3 guys are still sitting there 4 days later.
It's crazy.
Complaining that they don't have loads.
But they won't
I'm just like,
modify their route to get that load.
Right. So I used to be white collar. So I just pointed out to them, I said, so at what point do you get the clue that they're trying to get you to quit so they don't have to pay unemployment?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, at some point you just got to...
It's not that loads weren't available. It's that the loads kind of sucked if you were a solo that couple weeks.
Right.
Out of there. Which is often the case. It's freaking Salt Lake.
Right.
You kind of get what you get out of there. Sometimes you get these great transcon loads, and sometimes you're going up the street. So which brings me to why I actually called is that's a good story because we're really harping right now for a reason. Do things that you wouldn't normally do just to keep moving.
Right.
I mean, Charlie and I were looking at my miles over here on the ERF regional account, and I think Charlie almost fell out of his chair when he saw my empty miles, didn't you?
Yeah, it was pretty insane, especially for you.
I mean, I'm pulling like 20% empty miles right now, and I hate doing it. I complain about it. Charlie will tell you I complain about it every day. But you know what? I'm moving every single day.
Yeah, and the numbers actually make sense though when we started looking at it.
Right, with that extra 5 cents for the empty, I'm getting better fuel mileage over here, which I can't honestly explain. It might be because my routes have been the more flat areas.
Right.
Like I went from where was I? Where they make the baseball bats? Come on, Charlie, help me out.
Louisville.
Louisville. To Charlotte. And those of you guys that are familiar with that route, there's a big old freaking mountain between those 2 cities.
Right.
And so my dash is saying that I've lost about a mile per gallon over what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. And my dash has been pretty accurate. So it might just be that I've been running the lowlands.
Right.
But hey, I'll do that all day long, right? So, but I am doing more empty miles, and literally it's, if you don't take these loads, that's kind of what there is right now.
Right.
I mean, you can try and put your foot down like I normally do on OTR, and they're going to say, well, we'll see what we can find you. Oh, we found one for you that's picking up 30 miles away instead of 150 miles away, but it doesn't pick up till tomorrow afternoon, and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Today.
So you got to weigh it out.
Right. And I've gotten caught in that a couple of times over here. Like, well, crap, I should have just taken that other one because it was more miles.
Right.
Right. but it's a change in attitude that I'm struggling with, because I'm used to that, 8% empty.
Change is
And
bad.
that's high. That's even higher for me.
Change is
That's even
bad.
higher.
No change, Jeff. Oh, wait. We got to be able to
Right.
adapt, I guess.
Yeah. Resistance is futile.
Right. Oh, God. Here we go.
Yes.
Untamed Squirrel said, hey, keep an
So-
eye on the weather in front of you. It can change anytime. Absolutely. And real quick, Anthony McHugh said, best way to check weather. I use NOAA and the 511 apps and stuff like that, the state road commissions and that sort of thing. Seriously.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, for me, what I do is I just Google road conditions and then the state.
Right.
And that'll take me right to that state's 511 system.
Yeah.
Which they're not all created equal. California's, of course, sucks.
Right.
Wyoming's is pretty dang good.
Wyoming is stellar. They have to be.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I always tell people I've never had to chain up in Wyoming. The reason is because they just shut the roads down when it gets that bad.
Right.
If you're out there chaining up in Wyoming, that means that you got caught by something
Yeah.
before they closed the road down. Probably just before they closed the road down. So.
Yeah, Craig said he's
and
around 20% empty.
You guys are talking about chaining. I haven't had to use them yet. I actually haven't had to chain in like 2 years. Good for me.
Yay.
But I went and bought those auto socks. I know a couple other guys in the group have bought them and used them, and they like them, and so they kind of convinced me to get a set. Right. They're really expensive, but they take like 5 minutes to put on.
Yeah, and as long as you're not abusing them, they last pretty good. I've heard some people say, "Oh, I shredded them. I used them one time and shredded them," and I'm like, "You probably didn't use them right."
Yeah, take them off when you see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the thing with those two, though, is if you guys want to go with those, like I say, I haven't actually physically used them yet, but I have enough information from other people to be confident that they will work.
Right.
But you still have to put, like in Oregon and some of the other places where they require drag chains, you still have to throw iron for that. So the 2 trailer tires that you have to chain up have to be, chained.
Right.
Like with iron. But that's not the part that's hard anyway. So.
Sue says she loves the auto socks. Hey, Matt. So I've been meaning to reach out to you. So that video that you and I and Jeff did, I lost it. I thought we saved it locally, and I didn't. It was saved up in our cloud, and that cloud erases every 15 days, and I lost it, man. So now that you have a revised spreadsheet, let's try and plan a time sometime soon, man, and we'll go over that spreadsheet like we were gonna do. Maybe we'll just do it live. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Untamed Squirrel said, I use
that way it's recorded for posterity.
Untamed Squirrel uses my radar to keep an eye on the storm movements if it's predicted to cross my route. Yeah, I use the NOAA weather app. I pay for it. It's like $4 or something like that. I don't know. I really like the NOAA app personally, and I get weird notifications when bad things is happening. I know, Matt. I'm sorry, buddy. Just take that last one as a practice run, man. Yeah. It was my bad. Completely my bad. Anyhow, yeah. So if you guys got any questions, throw them up. Let's see. I should check the phone because TK said he was going to call, but he hasn't called. So I don't know what to do. Whatever. He said he had a question that he wanted to call about. Sorry, going through chat.
Yeah, I heard you guys were talking about rates and stuff earlier, and we were talking on the Facebook group last couple of days about this, and I'm talking to direct stops from Landstar, Mercer, guys with their own authority,
right?
And boy, they're hurt. Mercer doesn't seem to be doing as bad as I don't know why. I haven't figured that out yet, but they are seeing their rates drop as well. It's not to the extreme that we're seeing elsewhere.
Yeah, and like I don't know if I actually said this earlier, but like as of right now, the October van rates are down to 244. Last month they were 245. Month before 252. Month before that, which was July, was 264. They are steadily declining, And like I said, I went through the numbers of it, and there's still a lot of trucks out there that need to be culled from the herd as it is, because there's a ton
Well,
of
Charley and I
capacity.
were running some napkin math on that. So at that rate, at that van rate, a Landstar guy right now, unless he's getting fuel surcharge, which is not guaranteed for them, by the way. I don't care what their little advertisement says. Their advertisement says is they guarantee the payment of all collected fuel surcharge. They don't always collect fuel surcharge. It's Swift. They pay us whether they collect it or not. So that's my spiel on that. But so a Landstar guy is making less than us this week.
They're what, 65%? Is that what?
Yeah, they're at 65.
So at 244, 65% is $1.58.6.
Yep. And what did we say ours was?
Right now this week I was doing it $1.15 with our fuel surcharge $1.84.
So there you go. And that's what we talk about with these percentage accounts, guys. When it's good, it's great. Like every time the rates go up, Charlie and I honestly look at it. But by the time we see it, we start one of these things.
Right.
And we're like, gosh, we're glad we didn't do that. Now, if we could ever catch it at the bottom, you see Charlie and I go get our own.
Right. And then we'll come back like everybody else when it dips out. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just the smart move. It just is. We have a ton of people that do that.
You go lease the carrier when that's the best for you, and you go use your own authority when that's the best for you.
It's like using
that's
ES.
The game I've seen a lot of guys play.
It's like using ES versus Condata. You know, depending on what the market's doing, use the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah, and I can't remember who it was because you know me and names, Charlie. But he's running the Target out of Texas. And he found an Alsop that's beating EA by 20 cents.
Right.
But he has to use the Mudflap app to do it. So I was talking to him the other day, and he's going to try that out. I did tell him though. I said, you know, with a non-big guy chain, make sure you got some extra fuel filters just in case.
Right.
And
know
then
how to
if it pans out, and if it pans out and everything's good, let everybody know, man. Everybody that's running that Target account that's the owner operator should know about that fuel price.
Right.
And how to access it.
Craig said, even though we've been cut to 55%, I'm still making out good for the most part. Craig, for those of you who don't know, is on the Northeast Regional account. So those rates are typically high anyhow, higher than most of the country just because. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But it's also extremely difficult to get on that account. And the way that account is laid out is you actually don't know what the rates are until you're paid. So I got a bit of an issue with that. And they pay net 15, net 30, things like that.
And from what we've learned about that account, you really need to be good at building relationships.
Yeah, because you get on the bad side of someone up there, you are hosed.
Right.
Got a couple people who can attest to that.
Say about that is just that yeah, make sure you are building a good, solid working relationship with those people who decide to go do that.
Even if it hurts.
From what I've seen, also someone's got to get fired or something for you to get on there.
Right. Right. So
the guys that have figured it out, though, man, they really are. They're doing really well. Good to hear that the percentage drop didn't hurt as bad as we thought it might.
Right. Mike Henderson said, started my career in on Costco out of Sumner, Washington in 98, running from Sumner to Salt Lake City and Billings. One winter, I chained over 100 times in one winter. So, Mike, I got a little interesting thing to say about that. I ran Cabela's out of basically Sumner when we were establishing that account. And we used to chain at times 2, 3, 4 times a day. And we ran from Kent, Washington to Sydney, Nebraska, or Prairie du Chien. And we were doing that turn twice a week. And, then we had store deliveries on the way back. And so, yeah, man, we lived on chains. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. It was stressful. It was fun. I learned a lot. And I think it honestly made me a better driver overall. But it burned me out. So I'm glad that we don't have to chain, that they're not pushing you to chain, because back then it used to be, hey, you got iron, don't you? Get it on the tires, get rolling. Now they're like, hey, what? No, man, just park.
Yeah.
It makes revenue rough during those times. But I mean, look, I saw some really bad wrecks and was almost involved in a couple of those wrecks. You know what I mean? And I would rather not be a part of that.
And for years and years, when I would see people on Facebook on the different sub groups saying, "What, I don't know, should I change? Should I not change?" I'm like, well, what do you think? Because
Right.
my comfort level is different than your comfort.
Right.
Now, I grew up in the snow. I grew up in Oregon. I grew up going up on Mount Hood skiing, all that stuff. People that live in that sort of situation, we don't mind chaining up so much.
Right.
Now, there's times when I just shut it down because it's just too bad. But a lot of times I'm looking at the different weather services, and I can see, look, this snowstorm's pretty much done in 50 miles. I can do that. And just get to the other side of it, and you're good. You might have to do 15, 20 miles an hour to get through it. But for me, myself, it's better than sitting there for 3 days.
Right.
Now, for someone else, it kind of wigs them out. And I would say, well, then don't change. Now, this is not something that you can just say, oh, you're not a good driver if you don't chain, or you're an idiot if you do.
Well, and
it's so individual.
I was one of those guys, like, look, if you ain't chaining, you're not making money. That's part of trucking. And it absolutely was back then. And that was the time, you know what I mean? If you didn't chain, then you weren't getting loads. You were not going to make money. You were going to starve, and you were going to start talking about how Swift is terrible, or whatever company you're with is terrible, because you can't make any money because you weren't willing to do the things you need to do to make those loads. Well, now that's different.
Right.
So, new time, new era. Everybody gets a trophy. What?
Yeah.
Stop it. Anyhow.
Oh, there you go again.
Oh, I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. I love you, young folks. I do. I do. Oh, man. So, yeah, we've been at this about an hour and a quarter, man. I think we're going to wrap this, Jeff.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions, I'll give you a couple minutes to throw them up, and we'll hit them on the way out. Otherwise, we're going to call this thing a wrap, man. Sorry for the short show, but I'm tired. Like I'm going to eat my cold spaghetti here in a couple minutes and probably go to bed so that I can actually function tomorrow with the grandkid birthday and all that stuff. So, Lord.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's apparently all still up in the air what the plans are. Nobody knows. It's going to be a last minute thing to figure out what we're doing. I'm like, oh, great. Whatever. We'll wing it.
Bumper cars.
There's like nothing like that around here close by. Yeah, it's weird. I know, right? But anyhow, we'll figure something out. He's actually a foodie, man. He likes to eat, so it'll probably be he'll want to go somewhere to go eat somewhere.
Buffet.
Dude.
Golden Corral or something.
There was a sushi buffet that he wanted to go to, and I'm like, oh God. Please no. And then he changed his mind, thankfully.
I think you guys have to have not bad trailers for a week before you can do that.
Right? Oh my God. Anyhow. Hey guys, I want to thank you all for hanging out with us and tuning in and listening to us. Oh, hang on. I got TK on the phone. I'm going to get his question. Hold on. Let's do this.
Okay.
Peace be upon you, Mr. TK.
Peace be upon you, brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. Jeff's on the line with us too, brother.
What's going on, brother Jeff?
Another day in paradise.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? You make everyday paradise, Jedi Master. So I have a question. I have a maintenance question. So y'all know I have a Peterbilt now.
Right.
And it's like I just had my whole clutch system had to be replaced. The clutch plate oscillator, the clutch, the input shaft. So are those things known to go out continuously? Because I got to repair it back in July, and then they just had to repair it again 2 weeks ago.
That sucks.
Is this an auto shift or a standard?
It's an auto shift.
That shouldn't be happening.
No, it shouldn't.
That's what I said. So I took it to the Rush dealership in Fontana, California. Anybody with a Peterbilt or Kenworth, please don't take your truck there. They had my truck for over 2 weeks and said they couldn't figure out what was wrong. The fault lights that came on, took it there. They were supposed to check it out. And when I got the truck back, they said they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. They couldn't duplicate the error or the fault lights that had came on. And I'm like, okay, that makes no sense either to me, but you guys are supposed to be the specialists.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
on this kind of stuff though, man, like you're talking deep. Yeah, dude, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Fucking robot stuff here.
Right. Alan, are you around?
How do you?
Let me see if Alan Becker's still here. Maybe he might know something, but I think that's even going to be beyond his realm. Because deep tranny stuff is big dollar, expensive, technician, need a computer degree at this point.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, so that's what they said to me. I'm like, one person said it could be the wiring harness. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, the wiring harness might be loose. And I'm like, okay, so can we fix that? And she was like, because there's like a 1,000 wire harnesses on your truck. I'm like, what?
So
she's like, yeah, we can't
right
down to figure out which one exactly that is.
They on your contract, TK doesn't contract with Swift, just so y'all know. On your contract though, your repairs are covered by your lease company, right?
Yes.
So yeah, okay.
Yes.
I just want to say something here, just so everyone else is cautious of what TK said versus what we would recommend people say. Like you're like, just try changing it. For our contract, if we go to a shop and say, hey, I think this wire harness may be bad, I think you should change it, and they change that and they charge you for it and it doesn't fix the problem, you're still paying for that. Now, if you take it to one of our guys and say, hey, I don't know what the problem is, this is the symptoms, please diagnose this and make the repairs. If they throw in a $2,000 wire harness job that does absolutely nothing to fix your problem, then you have a leg to stand on. You can say, hey, look, I'm not paying for this wire harness because, this didn't fix the problem. You didn't fix anything. On a contract like TK's on, it's completely different. So by all means, tell them what you think is wrong and get them to fix it if you can. If you're on a contract like we are, do not go in and tell them, hey, my EGR is bad. They'll just replace the EGR and maybe it's not. Maybe it's a sensor. But you're going to get charged for an EGR and still have a bad sensor. That's $3,000. So be careful with that. I just want to throw it out there. Alan, did you by any chance hear what TK was saying about his what parts were those again? It was the clutch and
the clutch, the whole clutch system. Clutch plate, modulator, the clutch, and the input shaft.
And you had that all replaced how long ago?
August. I got my truck back August 15th.
So
and
August.
Then 2 weeks ago, yeah.
August, he had that all replaced and just had it all go out again. Yeah. It's an auto. I'm waiting for him to come back. Sorry.
No worries.
Excuse me. But yeah,
yes, even though I'm no longer contracted with Swift, I still come to you guys for my questions and whatnot because I trust y'all opinion over others.
Oh,
because y'all not gonna lie to me. I have that level of trust with y'all. So thanks is needed, bro. I mean, the reality situation is I did good at Swift because of the leadership and the advice that you and Jeff gave me.
Oh.
If I'd have listened to Jeff, I wouldn't have got into a contract. I was going to say, waited another year. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have waited another year, if not 2.
Yeah, just so you guys know, PK was one of my last students. I actually kind of quit because of him, so there's that. Not kidding. I can't say stuff like that.
I drove Jeff crazy. Jeff doesn't believe in doing anything over 65, or actually 63. So if you were a mentor of Jeff's and you went over 60 miles an hour, you had to hear him like really go they're on you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, TK, did it all go out
So-
again or just a couple of parts? Do you know?
No, the computer said everything went out, but nothing went out. It's driving. The fault lights came on, but then they towed it. When it got towed, the truck started up and everything all over again, and it's been driving ever since. They couldn't reproduce the fault problems that popped up, and I'm like,
Gotcha.
now you're telling me that it's a wiring harness. Okay, fine. Can you tell me which wiring harness? I'm not saying replace just any wiring harness. I'm asking, can you tell me which wiring harness or why it's a wiring harness? And they couldn't give me an answer to that.
You know, the magical people that could probably fix this, but it's going to be expensive, is Pittsburgh Power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
have
kinda
electrical
figured you were gonna say
engineers that
so-
actually can trace down those kinds of problems. Like he hired electrical engineers to
And,
find those ground shorts and things like that. Yeah, even Alan just said
and
TCM may have ground short.
and the electronics guys, they're easy to get into. They're not like a 3-week wait like it is for the
Right.
mechanical guys.
Well,
I don't know how often you get
plan
up
was to
into
go
that
see-
neck of the woods, but
my plan was to go there anyway to get some things done. Another driver at where company I'm at now went up there. He didn't want anyone knowing, but he had a conversation with me about it. And yeah, he said he won't take it. You know, he doesn't get. He's part of the warranty program. He's supposed to go there to the shop there or the TAs because they have a contract with the TAs. He goes there and pays for it out of pocket. He
Right.
said it's worth it.
Absolutely.
So he said it's more than worth it. He said, you know, he has a K9, the big 378 Peterbilts,
Right.
mm-hmm.
where everyone else in the fleet is only getting maybe 6 miles per gallon. He's doing 7.4 is what he said. He's doing about 7.4 miles per gallon because he goes there, they tune his truck up, and give him everything that he needs.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, TK, Alan said the TCM could have corrosion on the contacts. He said if it starts again and it's wet, then it's going to be a connection in the TCM. Do you know, was it raining or anything like that the last time this happened?
No, it was dry.
It was dry.
It was dry. It was hot. It was like
Okay.
it was 105 degrees in Montana when it happened.
Gotcha. So there you go, Alan. It was dry, man. So it could be a ground short, could be, I mean, any number of things. Unfortunately, it's a pain to diagnose that kind of stuff, man. And the more complicated these motors and trannies get, the harder it is to diagnose those types of problems.
Right.
And Purple Yeti said, don't let TK leave Pittsburgh Power without a diesel force cleaning and the catalyst. Yes. Alan said he's still leaning on the TCM wiring, or the actual TCM itself is failing. That's the transmission control module. You like that? I just figured that out all by myself. I feel so like a big boy.
So you say that, but TK and I can't see the chat. So for all we know, you've got it from Alan.
Well, he keeps typing TCM, and I was like, "What the hell is TCM? TCM? Oh, we're talking about transmission control module. Had to be one, right?" Alan, I see. I'm on it. It takes me a while. Look, squirrels. What? Anyhow, so yeah, TK. Honest to God, man, we have no strong advice other than come out of pocket, go see Pittsburgh Power, and get their engineers on that. Because those guys really are phenomenal, but it can take some time for them to really trace down. But I've heard those guys like find the most minute ground short that was causing just the most tremendous problems when everyone else is like, we don't know. We replaced the entire harness, every harness in the truck, and it's still messed up. And it turns out it was just, one little ground wire somewhere that, nobody's skilled enough to locate. Right.
Okay.
So everything going good over there for you, buddy? Other than the truck having issues with the tranny and all that?
Well, I mean, it ain't swift, but I'm doing all right. I'm able to put a little bit of money up, but that's a personal thing I need to talk to you about. Whenever you get a chance, you can call me about the kid.
Okay.
You're not gonna like it.
Oh hell.
Mm.
My niece is at it again.
You know.
That's what I heard. That's what I'm hearing.
The doctor is at it again with your niece.
Okay. Okay, we'll dip into that. I will try and get up with you later on this week, TK. If I don't, man, hit me.
Yes, she does.
Like literally. Go down to Florida and hit him.
Yeah, physically come down and smack me around.
Get it on video too. I want to see it.
For real.
I got you.
I'm a bit scattered lately, man, so I'm trying, brother. I promise.
Don't worry. I'm a lot of scatterbrain because of it. So
right. All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap this thing. I see you guys that are trading gamer tags in the chat, and that's cool. I dig it. That's awesome. That's awesome. We got people gonna game together and stuff. I almost said a bad word. That is freaking cool. I dig it. Yeah. Wow. You guys be safe. Thank you for joining us. TK, thanks for calling in. Jeff, thanks for getting on the phone with us, man. I was killing myself over here. You know how it is. And you guys, we'll see you next week, 6 p.m. Tuesdays on Contractors Corner. Y'all be safe. Look after each other. You know what? If you see someone wreck out, don't be that guy. Find a safe spot. See what you can do to help out. Anyhow, we're out. We'll see you next Tuesday.